Hi, thanks for coming by today. Terry and I will be busy clearing up this side of the fairy garden. Although it's hot out, I still wanted to get at least this side of the fairy garden cleaned up. On Thursday, I showed you my fairy garden and I was showing you how overgrown all of this area is. So the fairy garden is between the cedar rails and this rock wall. And I have a smoke tree, a rose of Sharon, and a dogwood, along with this mushroom tree. The dogwood is right here. But you can't tell because there's so much weeds. There are two fairies by the dogwood. There they are. Remember this? Remember watching Fairy Garden Thursday before July? And I have a smaller little fairy over by that big mushroom tree that we have there. So Terry, yes, has started on the other side, and I started on this side. I'm next to the bridge. We have a little bridge, and the water from the pond in the springtime comes down around under the bridge and goes down through this little garden. By the time it gets to the end of the garden, it's kind of soaked into the ground. It gets a lot of water. But the weeds love to grow here unattended. But now it's in August, and we're hoping to get our little areas really cleaned up because we couldn't come out because of the heat before. But there they are. There's some impatiens growing here and marigolds. And, of course, the big sunflowers next to the railing. That's a rose. I'm putting the rose back up onto the trellis, hook it into the trellis. And both of us now are going to come into this area and clean up around the marigolds and those two little fairies sitting there. I took off my apron. I ended up opening up my coat. I'm really hot. Terry's here in his t-shirt and shorts, but I have a lot of allergies, so I have to cover up. I got my jeans and jacket on, hat, of course, because I don't want to get too much sun. Here, see, this is why, look at this weed. It fights back, it holds onto the ground, and it doesn't want to let go. So Terry's strong arms now pulls out those bigger weeds I can't get at. A lot of vine weeds, it just covers the ground. I think we pulled away like 2 wagonfuls of weeds in this area. Oh, look at the little crown that I had on top of the mushroom fell down. Didn't even remember it was there. Yep. So down through here is like a little drain. So you can see the rocks. I'm in between the two little piles of rocks that goes down for the water. And another day I'll go to the other side. There's a lot of impatient flowers growing there. It's a little bit of weed and a little bit of weed around the spruce tree that's over that way. So I'll clear that up another day because it's got really hot. We managed to get this done, and in we went because it's just too hot. So there are marigolds. The marigolds that are planted in the ground are like the same height as the marigolds that are in the pot. So it doesn't matter if you went in pot or not. It didn't raise them up higher. I guess the roots and the flowers, This is the 2 flowers that I'll be putting over on the other side, or 3 flowers. I put them there because I bought them on sale, the perennials, and I'll be putting them to the other side where the bench is and the wheelbarrow of the fairies. You watch my Fairy Garden Thursday video. I might link it down below, but it was just this past Thursday. So I thank you for coming by today. Look at this. Doesn't it look better? See the little fairy over there? Oh, and there was a little I'll say fairy. 2 little fairies there, and the 2 big fairies are underneath the dogwood. Alrighty then. Have a great day. Take care in the heat. Bye for now.